Talk for a moment about radical self-forgiveness. And specifically, as a presenter, as a speaker, as a teacher, as a guide, I want to speak to you about when you get up in front of an audience, whether you're sitting at home, whether you're in your car, or whether you're live in front of a group of people. And I want to talk about when you mess up. And it's a very important moment. And I think about this myself because I was giving a really important presentation with a group of people. It was an interactive training with a board of directors. And I was telling my opening story, which I just really count on my opening story to drop people into something critical, a different perspective. And as I was telling this opening story, I realized that I ended it too early. And this is a story that I've told many times, and I ended it too early, and I went on to the next exercise, and I got other people on the board starting to tell their own stories. And as I was going around the room and hearing them, I was thinking to myself, oh shit, I totally just messed up. I completely missed the point of my opening story and moved on. And I can start to sense that people were looking at me differently, and that didn't make any sense at all, what I had just said. And I didn't realize it quite when I finished the story, but now I really realized it. And now there was this noise happening in front of me. They were talking and they were saying words, but it looked like this, because all I could hear was this voice inside of my head, which was saying, you are such a screw up. And I was like, wait a second, I'm leading this training. I'm not a screw up. I am leading. This is all happening. But I couldn't stop the noise because I'd set the tone for the entire afternoon in the wrong direction. And so I decided, as it went from the first person to the second person, and it was heading towards the third person to hear their story, I decided that I was going to do one of two things. I was either going to entirely let this mess up rule the entire rest of the training, or I was going to, in that very moment, entirely forgive myself, and forgive myself fully and radically and cleanly. And then I was going to make sure and close really strongly. And so that was the decision that I made. It was an act of a radical self-forgiveness. And I have to tell you that it cleared my space, my presentation, so much that I didn't think about it at all for the rest of the afternoon. And not only that, when it came time to close, to tell my closing story, to send them off in a direction of alignment and connection and thinking about their next steps forward, I gave myself to it doubly than I normally would. I really landed with focus and with this recognition that that would be the thing that they would remember, and not the mess up or the confusion that I'd begun with. And I tell you all of this because I want to give you the chance, whether you're live on stage or you're working on something right now and you're a little bit confused and you're questioning yourself, take a moment and radically forgive yourself for whatever that mess up is, and consider, how am I going to end this story, end this presentation, and this writing with total clarity and strength, so that's the thing that they're going to remember.